Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cub Chat Live. Happy Friday. We are joined by one of our favorite guests. And of course, I'm talking about not only Sydney Palomino, who's part of the Cub Scout committee, but Kit, our favorite camp mascot. You were saying he's got a little bit of extra gear on today, right, Sydney?
That's right. That's right. Our wonderful cope and climbing committee at our camp made sure that Kit had a helmet so that in summer camp, when Kit goes climbing on the tower with our Cub Scouts, Kit is also going to be safe and secure.
I really love that. Now, while that may not be an activity Cub Scouts take part in, I think Kit would appeal to many Cub Scouts. We are talking about a subject Cub Scouts go wild for, Cub Scout volunteers go wild for, our audience is going to go wild for. We're talking blue and gold. So if there is somebody you know who's affiliated with blue and gold and you think that they need to be a part of today's show, watching along, commenting along with us, tag them in the comments right now so they can tune in or watch after we're live today. Shout out to Rob, who tagged some folks in the comment. Douglas representing PAC 3310 in Akron, Ohio. We've also got Scottsdale, Pennsylvania, PAC 151. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you so much. Okay, Sydney, I'm going to throw a question at you that doesn't even, it's not something we've even discussed. Are you okay if I throw you a curveball?
Absolutely.
What's your background with blue and gold?
So I have been a leader in my pack, a den leader, since my oldest son started as a tiger. And my first couple of blue and gold ceremonies were based on our pack tradition. Our pack traditionally had done a very formal blue and gold banquet. We went to a church. We had a catered lunch or a catered dinner. All of the pack families came and we had a really, really, really long, elaborate, formal arrow or rank ceremony and arrow of light crossover ceremony. And that was our blue and gold.
Okay.
It was very nice. It was a wonderful tradition. But after a couple years, people started not really wanting to keep doing it. Attendance fell off. It kind of was stagnant. And it was also a little frustrating for some of our Arrow of Light scouts who were really excited about their crossover ceremony. But we had our younger tiger and lions and it was a little bit harder for them to sit and be quiet and patient while the ceremony went on. So it just it wasn't really working for us anymore. So our PAC committee decided to completely overhaul how we thought about blue and gold, and we changed it up. And now we have a really awesome blue and gold activity.
I think starting from fresh with the blue and gold can be a really cool lens to take, or cool approach to take to make it, livened up for even Cub Scouts who've been through it for a few years, right? Like maybe they just want to do something fresh. I know we're going to get into this a little bit more in a minute. A quick shout out to PAC 3256 in Kent, Ohio. Thank you for tuning in. One more reminder, tag folks who need to be watching today's episode in the comments so that they can tune in either live with us and comment along or watch after today's show. Hello, Aaron. Aaron's actually behind the scenes Aaron today, and I guess he's also watching and commenting. Thank you for the shout out. Thank you so much, Aaron. Okay, let's rewind. Let's start at the very beginning. And thank you for reassuring us we're in good hands. You've been through a blue or gold or two.
Yes, definitely.
What is blue and gold?
So in Cub Scouting today, we think of blue and gold as a birthday party for scouting, right? But it actually started in 1933, 3 years after Cub Scouting started here in the United States. A roundtable newsletter went out recommending that PACs should host a parent and cub dinner. And the first recorded parent and cub dinner was PAC 1 in Michigan City. And they had a really cool stipulation to their blue and gold. It was organized by den mothers, and the den mothers really wanted to get the dads more involved. And so they put out a challenge that anyone coming to the blue and gold needed to make their own utensils. And that was a great way to get everybody really involved and invested in this exciting challenge for their ceremony. And then in 1943, the name blue and gold was coined, and the event kind of more or less officially became linked to the anniversary of scouting.
Why did people in the olden days have such good ideas?
Brilliant, right?
Yeah, that's like such a fun spin.
I agree. I think it would be a really cool thing to do today.
Yeah, I was going to ask, have you ever heard of a PAC still doing that?
I haven't heard of a pack still doing that, but maybe somebody in the comments will say, hey, our pack does that, or our pack's doing that this year.
That is just it's so fun. Again, take that hint if you want. I think if you follow that historic I don't want to say ploy, but like marketing method to get the whole family involved, let us know. Again, they invited those attending the dinner, they had to make their own homemade utensils. And that was in an effort to encourage parent involvement, which I believe, I mean, we still want to do, right?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And we all know that parents have fun helping with Pinewood Derby cars and building their own for the adult competition. I mean, this is kind of another spin on that.
Yeah. So let's get more into it. So why do we have blue and gold now?
So the most important reason to have a blue and gold is fun. Everything we do with our Cub Scouts and their families should be fun and engaging. We want to make sure we're encouraging fellowship. It's perfect for our Cub Scouts to hang out with their friends, but also for our adults and our families that are getting involved to make those relationships and build those relationships and family networks with each other. And it's a great way on the planning process side. It's a great way to maybe spark that interest and passion for those adults that are there and are kind of on the fringes, but kind of want to get more bought in. And they're looking for a little easy, bite-sized way that they can get involved. And helping to plan for blue and gold, helping to decorate for blue and gold, helping to reserve the facility or coordinate the meal. That's that bite-sized chunk that somebody can volunteer and do successfully, and then get excited about wanting to do more and give back to the pack and maybe become a more involved leader. And then the other really important thing that we can do with our blue and gold is we can build our scouting community. So of course, we're going to invite pack leadership. We're going to invite our Cub Scouts and their families. But have you invited your Scouts teachers? Or what about their principals or the superintendent? We're always looking to be able to gain access to the schools for recruitment. And if our educators can come to one of our activities and see these awesome Scouts having fun and doing cool things and all of the things that they've worked towards, that reinforces the value of scouting with those people. It's also great to invite community leaders and definitely engage your chartered organization. Invite your chartered organization representative, invite members of that community partner. It's a great community event to get everybody together to see the fun that we do, the fun things we do in scouting.
I honestly I don't know if I'm ashamed to say it, but I've never heard that or considered that you can invite community members to the blue and gold. And of course, inviting, personnel from school makes a lot of sense. Probably anybody that you've invited to speak at a pack or a den meeting would be great to invite as like kind of a thank you event. It can be just an annual party you have for Cub Scouting.
Coaches.
Yeah.
All kinds of, there's so many people that are involved in our Scouts' lives that could be brought into scouting, that could make that connection with scouting just by being invited.
What about, I guess there's really always a way to incorporate recruitment. I'm assuming you could also have friends or siblings who aren't in scouting come along
Absolutely.
too.
Absolutely. Cub Scouting's for the whole family. And if you have a friend that's interested in coming to a fun and engaging activity that isn't going to be an intimidating, we're working on these activities for advancement. No, it's a big party. Come celebrate with us. Who doesn't want to go to a birthday party?
Yes. And so I want to open it up to our commenters. We're getting a lot of good comments we're about to go through here in just a second. But what do you all do at Blue and Gold? What are some of your favorite activities you have there? What are some of the roles you delegate to other parents so that you can start building your volunteer base a little bit? I know some packs just get so into Blue and Gold, the cakes, the desserts, the foods, the crafts. I mean, tell us all about it. We want to talk about that here today. Rob says, we threw out all the rank advancement and formal stuff and replaced it with pizza, cake, ice cream, and games. Attendance picked up and it was a lot more fun. That's probably a common experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That's
bet that
what we did.
Yeah, I bet there are a lot of packs that maybe have dwindling attendance at Blue and Gold and are thinking, what? This is supposed to be the fun thing. Well, maybe it's a time to look at it, analyze, like, are we actually doing anything fun here? Or what is fun to your kids or your youth and your parents? You could even survey them perhaps and get some of that involved, get some of those elements involved. Hello, Pack 84. Hey, Rusty. Hello from Pack 32 in Versailles, Kentucky. Richard has a question here. For the first time, are AOLs crossing over to troops at Blue and Gold? Any considerations or recommendations about combining these events? Do you want to address this now, Sydney, or you want to wait?
We can talk about it now for sure.
Okay.
That's kind of what my pack was struggling with. It's that finding the right balance between wanting to make sure that you're taking the time to really honor the accomplishment of your Arrow of Light Scouts, and you're letting their families be able to celebrate with them. But especially if you're going to have your lions and tigers there, it's probably not the best place to have those long inspirational speeches, or everybody individually comes up and does the 12 different things that you have to. You're going to want to have it a little bit more concise and to the point, just because that lion, tiger, even wolf attention span isn't always there for that.
And Richard, there's probably ways to make anything work, but just a note, you are getting some comments that say our recommendation is don't combine them. So it's interesting input. Keep asking questions and answering questions here in the comments. You all have such valuable insights and perspectives. Fred chimes in to say commissioners always enjoy attending Blue and Golds. Yeah, invite your commissioner. Invite your district executive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sure your district executive would love an invite. They have to go for so many serious things. To get to go and have like a fun event just would be probably very rewarding. Aaron, both behind the scenes, in front of the camera, and in the comments, Aaron says, that was the mistake I made as a Cub Master. I chose the Blue and Gold as an opportunity to give a 10-minute speech. I put everyone to sleep. Not the same thing at all. But when I was a crew advisor, similarly, like if I ever had to make a speech, I would make the kids set a timer for 1 minute and cut me off at the 1 minute mark. And if you had to give a speech at the Blue and Gold, if there is a speech, something like that could be fun, interactive. The kids aren't listening so much. They're really excited to see the thing count down to 0 so they can cut you off, but it might be a good way. Rob says he was snoring through it. He might be talking about Aaron's speech specifically, which is hilarious. Okay. Back to the subject at hand. What should a Blue and Gold look like, and how do we do it?
So there is no one right way to do a Blue and Gold. It's really whatever your pack is comfortable with, whatever works for your pack. Like you said, Gina, you probably should talk to the families in your pack. Maybe do an initial conversation with the roses and thorns. Last year, this is what our Blue and Gold looked like. Did we like that? Did we not like that? How is attendance looking? Do we want to change something up? But you can follow your pack's traditions. If you always do something and you want to do that, and that's important to your families, then by all means, make sure that you still do that. But if you're looking for something else, what about a pizza party with games? My pack, since we got away from the more traditional sit down catered dinner and then formal ceremony, we did pizza or barbecue. We have a DJ that comes in and plays music, and we pass out glow sticks, and we have games all around the room, and there's music playing and everybody's just dancing and being silly. And it is a huge hit, and our Cub Scouts absolutely love it. So it doesn't have to be something that's super organized. Minute to win it type games and different kind of challenges that they can play that are easy and thrifty. That's always fun. Another idea is a lot of times people have themes for their Blue and Gold, and that's always a lot of fun too. You can do a space theme, you can do a superhero theme, like a jungle explorer theme, and then there might be community resources that you could tie in with that. So if you're going to do a jungle explorer theme, maybe you reach out to the National Park Service or your local park district and see, do they have any animal ambassadors that could come out and meet the kids and meet your scouts and do a little demonstration. Or if you're having a space theme, we had a pack locally that invited the 501st, and they all came out in their Star Wars regalia.
That's a big one.
They were there to greet everybody. Or superheroes, there are people that have superhero costumes that love to do that. So choosing a theme, having people decorate, and having people kind of, lean into that theme a little bit always adds a lot of excitement for our Cub Scouts.
Yeah, this is kind of my favorite element to talk about because it's one of the things in Cub Scouting that has such a wide array of things we can do. Anything you would do at a 5 to 11-year-old birthday party, you could make happen at a Blue and Gold. Francie Luhu, a very seasonal name, says, Our formula is a quick welcome, meal, around 30 minutes of entertainment, typically by the scouts, but not always, dessert, quick thank you to leaders, any special awards, and out the door works great. Yeah, you mentioned, we love a good theme. Our pack did Under the Sea last year, and the local aquarium came out with an animal ambassador and a take-home craft. Great. Yeah, crafts definitely have a place at Blue and Gold. I've heard of magicians going, which is very fun. Maybe sometimes they can teach a magic trick. So there's just that small little bit of learning element there, but it doesn't have to be. It is a party. So many good ideas. Keep them coming in the comments. Love those. Desserts are a big thing at Blue and Gold's, right? Do you all have some desserts going at yours?
We have a big cake. That's our big crossover cake. We have cupcakes, we have cookies. That's one of the things when you're in the planning stages. If you want to talk about food, it doesn't have to be a dinner. It could be a dinner. It could be a lunch. You could do a breakfast, or you could do breakfast for dinner, or you could just have
That's
desserts.
fun. A pajama party.
Exactly. It's kind of whatever. I mean, the sky is really the limit.
It does seem like you should maybe have some kind of food. Even if you're having scouts bring something, I don't know. It does seem like food is a big element. It doesn't have to, like you said, be a meal. Like we're promising we're going to replace one of your meals. And obviously it's resource dependent, but finding some way to have some little fun thing that gets people to come seems important, right?
Tying it in with the birthday theme, birthday cake and cupcakes always go well with my pack.
Excellent point. And those are easy to theme too if you are going with a theme. It can be pretty daunting. I know we're going to get more into the steps for planning a Blue and Gold, but I want to reassure anybody who's watching this, just like with Pinewood Derby, it's easy to be like, wow, this sounds big. This sounds intimidating. How in the world am I going to plan it? You don't have to do it alone, right?
No, don't do it alone. Don't try to do it alone.
Yeah. So maybe we should jump in. What are the steps for planning a Blue and Gold?
Sounds great. So you're going to want to start by having that conversation with your pack. You're going to want to sit down with any leaders, any parents that are interested in being involved, and have that roses and thorns discussion about, do we want to keep things the same? Is it working well? Do we want to go in a different direction and make some changes? Then you're going to want to decide on a day and a time. Is it going to be Friday night? Is it going to be Saturday lunch? And then you're going to want to decide on a meal. Are we going to do food at all? Are we going to do just desserts? Are we going to do potluck where everybody brings something? Are we going to assign something to each den? Maybe we want to have the whole meal catered in. But that's also where you get to kind of tap into the special skills and connections that the people in your pack have, because maybe one of your parents owns a restaurant and they can cater the food. Or maybe one of your parents also belongs to another social club or organization and they have a connection with bringing out somebody to do grilling or somebody to do sandwiches.
Or a space.
Exactly. So be able to work with those community connections, with those resources that you already have in your pack that maybe you haven't reached in and tapped and utilized yet. So then you're going to want to decide on the location. Like you said, you need to figure out, like, if you're going to have a lot of people, if you're a larger pack and you have lots of siblings that come and you're going to invite a lot of community members, you need to make sure that your space that you choose is going to be able to hold all of those people comfortably. If you're going to have a dinner and then games and fun, you need to make sure that you have both of those spaces available so that it's not this quickly tear down tables and do a quick turnover thing. If you're a smaller group, you probably want a smaller, cozier space. And then for the facilities, you're going to want to go through and determine, do you need a kitchen? Are you going to be fixing food there, or are you just bringing in crock pots or cupcakes? Does it have tables and chairs already provided? Or do you guys need to get tables and chairs? Will they set them up? What about cleanup? All of those kinds of things are important considerations to take into account. Also, parking. If you're going to have an event, if you're out in the country where I am right now, parking's not a problem. But if I go into a larger city, if I'm at this event, where is the parking? Is it free parking? What does that look like? Is the building or is the facility easy to get to? Because maybe you're going to have grandparents coming and we don't want them to get lost or be too confusing. And then also, is there a fee for renting the facility? And if there's a fee, sometimes it's worth asking if there is, a discount for scout groups,
It's
or if
always worth asking.
exactly.
People come out
So,
of the woodworks to be like, I was a scout. Yes, we'll throw it in. We'd happy. Yeah, definitely ask. And also, just in case you're wondering, this is your official permission. If weather permits or your group is tolerant of it, you can do it outside. You can have a blue and gold outside. It's a great place. Stick a sign, stick a pack sign out there. Make sure people are wearing shirts or something, because that's how you can make it a really awesome passive recruitment event. Because let's say you're adjacent to a playground or a park, what have you, you're going to be drawing attention. Kids are going to want to join the fun on that. So make sure they know how to get a hold of you.
absolutely. That is a great idea.
Cool.
So after that, you're going to want to find a date and a time that work. Whoever's going to be scheduling with the facility, you're probably going to want to come up with a date that's the best date and then 2 backup dates, just to make sure, in case that facility's booked already or in case there's a complication, that you have those backup dates without having to go back to the committee and taking all of that extra time. And then once you have those kind of basics decided, then it's time for the fun. Then you get to plan all of the exciting activities and all of the entertainment and the games. You're going to want to brainstorm with your families to find out what kinds of things your scouts like, what kinds of things they'd like to have there. Maybe there's somebody who knows how to do balloon animals. Maybe there's somebody who is a magician, like you said. Maybe somebody has a whole bunch of backyard games or board games that they can bring in. What if you did a challenge like the original Blue and Gold and you challenged everybody to do something? Maybe you decide you're going to have a craft extravaganza and you'd have craft stations set up all over.
I love your DJ idea as well. A DJ in a photo booth or something that could be very fun.
It's awesome. It is great. We love getting the kids out on the dance floor, especially playing some of their favorite songs. And yes, we end up playing Baby Shark and Chicken Dance, but that gets all of our tigers and lions out there dancing and loving every second of it, and watching the parents and watching so Gina, you said invite your district executive. We invite our district executive, and watching him out on the dance floor doing Baby Shark along with a whole bunch of Cub Scouts is the best thing. It's wonderful.
It's probably very therapeutic for your district executive as well.
I hope so. I think so. And I hope
so.
But when you're planning your activities, always make sure that you're consulting the Guide to Safe Scouting to ensure that your activities are safe and age appropriate. And that is really important, because there are fun things, but there are things that we don't do because of the Guide to Safe Scouting. So please make sure that you're following that. If your parents come up with any ideas that you're not sure about, just go over and take a look at it.
Excellent, excellent point. Thank you for making that so tangible for us. Just to recap what we covered there in terms of the steps for planning a Blue and Gold. You want to have a packed conversation about Blue and Gold, decide on a location, decide on a time and date, and plan entertainment. Now, you can do that with help. You can put people in charge of each element of that, and then other people in charge of each element that falls underneath all of those. But that is a great foundation for making sure it happens, making sure it's fun. And especially on that step number 1, having a packed conversation about Blue and Gold, that is a time to set all ego and traditions aside and really be open, and don't let your feelings get hurt. It's okay if you've done something a million times and you want to do it again, but the parents are saying, we don't like that. Scrap it. You can always come back if people want to. Francie Lou also says, not my pack, but one of my friends does Blue and Gold early in the day with a donut bar. Love that idea. Eugene says, hello, Cub Scout Pack 208. And Robin says, someone in our pack suggested a bluey theme, and I've been trying to come up with ideas. Robin, you came to the right place. Anybody, if you have bluey ideas for a Blue and Gold, let us know. Bluey and gold. I mean, there's the obvious one, right? What a great idea. I think that would be a hit. I see bluey birthday parties everywhere, just the balloons, the cake, everything. It could be wear blue. I don't know. Very fun. I have a question before we get into our last formal question. Does Blue and Gold have to be in February?
No. It's traditionally in February because that's tied to the celebration of the birthday of Scouting, but no, whatever works for your pack, make it something that works for you guys. And maybe you want to celebrate Blue and Gold. If you're in Ohio and you want to have a pack picnic, February is not the best month for that.
Right.
So,
yeah. Or you live somewhere and you want to do it in February because it's cold and you can finally get outside. It's a little bit cooler. I think I've even heard of packs doing it on their pack birthday, which isn't always in February. If you're a storied pack, you've been around for a really long time, sometimes you know when your pack's birthday was, and that's the time of year you want to celebrate it. So interesting. Okay, here, Melissa's got a comment for you, Robin. My Tigers loved playing Keepy Uppy from Bluey at one of their den meetings. There's also an episode where they play, which I think maybe is an Australian game, called Pass the Parcel, where you basically wrap a present, right? And then you put another present on top of that and then wrap it again. So you just get like a cascade of like little, dollar store presents. And so you pass it around kind of like musical chairs, and then it stops and that kid gets to open the present. So that'd be another good Bluey themed element. Keepy Uppy is like a balloon game where you've certainly played it, where you don't let it touch the ground. Man, I can't believe I know these things for the first time in my life. Obviously, we've been watching a lot of Bluey over here. Okay, this has been such a good show. We're running out of time, but we have one more, I think, kind of component to ask here. And this isn't exactly maybe the way you interpreted this question, but something I think some of our pack parents and volunteers would want to ask is, how do you make going to the pack? Well, let me ask this before I ask that. How do you make your blue and gold unique? I think people take a lot of pride in these things, and sometimes they want to have like an element that is unique to their pack. Any tips or suggestions there?
Find out what your pack loves. Find out something local that's unique about your area. Find out the things that your Cub Scouts love. That's what's going to make it special for the Scouts, and that's what it's really all about. So if your Cub Scouts are really big into Lego or Pokemon or whatever it is, gear it towards that and towards engaging them and towards them loving it, because that's going to build those memories of Cub Scouts and how exciting and fun Cub Scouts is. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something huge. It can be something small. It can be something that they take away from it. But it's more that feeling, that friendship, that fun.
Yeah, the flip side of that question is, how is your pack going to make blue and gold special, and how will it help build your scouting community? I guess that's a question all our viewers need to ask themselves, right?
Exactly. Those are the big questions that when you sit down and have that conversation with your pack and with those parents that you're hoping to get involved, that's kind of the hook to get them involved. We need you. We need your help. We need your input to make sure that we're engaging our families, to make sure that we're engaging our community, and to make sure that this big party is something that your Cub Scouts love and want to talk about and want to invite their friends to, and it becomes one of the highlights of their Cub Scouting year. And so those are kind of the guiding questions that you want to ask when you're discussing that with your pack. And if your pack looks at their blue and gold ceremony and it isn't fun and exciting and engaging for your Cubs, maybe it's time to rethink it.
Yes, absolutely. Giving the kids what they want, the parents what they want. When we talk to, Cub Scouts encompasses so many things. You do so many activities over the course of time you're in Cub Scouting. But when we ask adults, what do you remember? We always hear Pinewood Derby. We hear whittling. We hear, maybe a little bit about knot tying. Blue and gold sticks with folks too, if they had a good one. Some forget, some don't remember that they ever had blue and gold, but those who really made the most of that, they remember it forever. It's up there with Pinewood Derby for them. So pretty
Which
important.
is why we should bring back the make your own utensils thing.
I know. I really think that's so genius. I'm just trying to think, how did those moms come up with that? Because it does very much appeal to dads. How do they know?
It does. Whittling and building things, Pinewood Derby. I mean,
right.
It just all works together.
Absolutely. Sydney, what have we missed before we end today's episode?
I think we pretty much covered everything. I just want to keep reiterating that make sure your blue and gold is fun and simple and easy. Just like Cub Scouts, involve your families and get them bought in and get them having fun, because then they're going to want to stick around and help out even more. And that's what Cub Scouts is all about, having fun.
Beautifully said. C. Hughes chimes in with a few theme ideas: Harry Potter, Mad Science, Western Night, basketball theme with semi-pro. Wow, that's fun. Carnival, and Pirates of the Caribbean. I guess maybe this is another specific question. When you invite somebody in like semi-pro or somebody to do some kind of a performance, right? Do they need to be abiding by the Guide to Safe Scouting? They're not scouts.
So it depends. There are certain things in the Guide to Safe Scouting that Cub Scouts can go to demonstrations, like martial arts demonstrations. They can see a martial arts demonstration, but they can't participate in it. So there are certain very specific things in the Guide to Safe Scouting that before you go and do an interactive kind of an event, you want to make sure that you're double checking those rules so that you can see what they can participate in versus what they can observe as a demonstration.
Yeah, that's a fantastic clarification. So still the sky is the limit in terms of what you might be using for like professionals demonstrating something. Don't think, oh, well, we can't have this magician because fire is involved or something. But that doesn't mean the Cub Scouts are participating in that. So
exactly.
Really good clarification. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, you can watch past episodes of Cub Chat Live. They are not gone. They stay up after the show. You can go to Aaron on Scouting and check those out. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah, because I believe it also starts on the same day as Christmas this year. Happy New Year. Happy holidays to whatever you are celebrating. Yes, again, you can visit past Cub Chat Live episodes. We will be taking a quick holiday break, but we'll be bringing you some of our favorite episodes of Cub Chat Live for the next couple Fridays. Sydney, it's always a pleasure to have you on. We also love Kit, fan
Thank
favorite.
You.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for letting him join.
Kit says hi.
Hi, Kit. And bye, everybody else. Have a good few weeks. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to catch next week's episode. Same time, same place. And let us know how we're doing at go.scoutingmagazine.org/rate-cubchat. We love feedback and ideas for new episodes. And you can visit blog.scoutingmagazine.org/cubchatlive for all our past video episodes. You can see us live. Except it's recorded, but it was live. Okay, see you next week.